Hey guys, it's Dream. So I haven't done this in quite a while now, and I wanna come back to it. So this is 3 creepy stories from a Reddit. Number 1. I lived in a very small town once when I worked from my laptop. Population about 200 small. I was living in a small cabin in the woods next to the highway. One day I was walking my dog and heard two gunshots somewhere nearby. Didn't think much of it, it's a hunting area and it's kinda redneck like. The next day, or the day after, a truck pulls up. I don't even know anyone in this town, so it's weird and I'm put off. Guy calls me over, says he's my neighbor, asks if I heard the shots. I said yeah. He claims it was his neighbor taking pot shots at his house over a land dispute. Doesn't ask me to be a witness for him or anything, just if I heard it. Okay, seems really odd to me. Never met this guy before, and when I say neighbor, I mean 500 meters or 1 kilometer away out of sight. Guy sees my dog digging somewhere unimportant, and all of a sudden starts trying to tell her not to do that. He gets out of his truck, and she's iffy of him. Says here, watch. Calls her over, grabs her, and tries to do the fucking stupid fucking Cesar Chavez dominance. Hold the dog over the back thing, for really no fucking reason. She starts yelping, and I'm like, dude, stop! He asks me whether I have any guns myself. I say no. Then he says that he's a great dog trainer. Then, out of nowhere, he asks me to go over and mow his lawn. And please ensure to bring your dog, in the strangest way. Just like that.
Please ensure you bring your dog.
I can't describe it, but his mannerisms and the way he talked was just plain creepy, especially that line. He leaves soon after, and I'm thinking, fuck! I just told this guy not only that I heard the gunshots, but that I'm unarmed here. How do I even know it was his neighbor like he claimed, and not in fact that this weird dude has shot someone at his home and is trying to see who might have heard or witnessed it. I never went to his house, not a fucking chance. I just had a horrible feeling. Then he kept showing up, asking why, calling and texting, asking why. I gave him my number before realizing how weird he was. Turns out the guy's a total alky, lost his wife, lost his job, lost everything, very dangerous mental state, nothing to lose. The small store owners in the town explained the guy to me. He's apparently the most hated guy in the valley and has a bad reputation. Now I'm really freaked out. I found it very hard to sleep after that. Cabin in the woods, nobody nearby that would hear any commotion, many angles for the place to be approached from, and I just have a can of bear spray and a knife. And the guy knows I have no guns. I would be kept up for hours listening at night for any movement outside, as it was dead silent there. One night in the middle of it, my dog starts to growl. I don't hear anything, but it didn't matter. Every room in the cabin had a window but the bathroom. I just got up, grabbed a knife, bear spray, and locked myself in that fucking bathroom for hours, listening. I think I eventually fell asleep in there. I don't think I ever felt that kind of dread. I just pictured this lunatic sneaking up with a shotgun to take me out for maybe having heard him murder someone with a gun days earlier. Fuck, it was just awful. I moved, but unfortunately the new landlords were equally creepy and even started trying to steal my dog, even though they had 3 already. I heard them discussing it, how they had to make themselves the in crowd so that she'd want to be with them, and had feeding her dog food when they thought I wasn't looking. Must have just been the small town thing, totally strange people in that town for the most part. They went to market one morning. I packed all my shit into my uninsured van with no license and my pup and just fucking bailed that town and never looked back. Good God, it was Hills Have Eyes shit, mates, I'm telling ya. Number 2. My family has a cabin in the middle of nowhere in the southern British Columbia. There have been a few things that have happened out there which I cannot explain. The nearest neighbor is about 3 kilometers away, which is a rarely used hunting lodge. Our cabin is about 100 away from the forestry service road up and a long winding driveway, and we have about 1 acre square clearing with the cabin in the middle and trees surrounding the clearing. We very rarely see anyone in the vicinity while we're out there, due to it being literally in the middle of nowhere. About 5 years ago, my girlfriend, now wife, and best friend were up for a weekend in July or August. It was probably 10:30 or 11 p.m. and we were sitting in the hot tub having a couple of drinks and shooting the shit. It was clear night without a breath of a wind, and the property was partially illuminated by some landscape lights in the yard and the light from the moon. You could see outlines of trees and some of the outbuildings fairly clearly. Anyway, I'm sitting with my back to the yard and my girlfriend is facing me. She stops mid-sentence and is looking over my shoulder at something behind me. She calmly asks for me to turn off the bubbles and look towards the tree line. I turn around and look, but can't see anything other than some far-off pines. I asked what she saw, and she said that she saw a man walk from the yard into the tree line. I turned the bubbles off and scanned the area looking for movement, but didn't see anything. My body called out asking who's there, but was met with a deafening silence of the woods. I climbed out of the tub and went inside and grabbed a 36 and high-powered flashlight and shined the light towards the far corner of the yard, near the tree line where my girlfriend saw the man. There was nothing there, but about 20 yards into the tree line, we could see the top of a large polar tree swaying back and front violently, enough that you could hear the leaves rustling. There was no wind and all other trees were completely still. I asked my girlfriend if she saw a bear, as they sometimes rub on trees for a good butt scratch, or is she certain it was a man. She maintained that it was walking on 2 legs and had the gait of a person. Not wanting to press out luck, we grabbed our towels, covered the tub, and went inside for the night. A little after 3 a.m., I was awoken by the sounds of trees banging together. It would stop and then resume a couple minutes later elsewhere in the trees. We did not get much sleep that night. The next morning, I took a walk over the swaying tree to investigate and found some matted grass and broken bush, but nothing to indicate who or what was responsible for that. Number 3. My best friend's parents live on this little dead-end dirt road outside a really small town. Their house sits on a few acres of land and is mostly woods. About a half-mile down that road lives this old man who grew his ginseng for a living. When I was about 16 or so, this guy named Bob Joe went missing. He was last seen on that road where his mom dropped him off, and no one had any idea where he went. My friend and I used to walk up in those woods all the time, and there was a rumor around the town that Bobby was trying to steal that old man's ginseng plants, then ran off and was hiding in the woods. So what else does a stupid teenager decide to do other than go and investigate? There was a trail that we always walked on that was a good 20 minutes hike from my friend's house, so we stayed on it and were looking for any signs of someone camping out or something. All of a sudden, in the middle of the daylight, we heard a man yelling help from a distance. We just stopped and stared at each other frozen. We heard it over and over again and could still hear it from a distance even as we were running back to his house as fast as we could. They found Bobby's body the next day, buried on that man's property. He had been shot twice and his arm was ripped off from where his body has been moved. The old man only spent a little bit of time in jail because he hadn't told the police up front that he killed him. Definitely one of the biggest mindfucks of my life. Hey guys, it's me Dream again. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this. I really enjoyed making creepypastas. It's truly a lot of fun for me. So if you like this kind of stuff, please leave a like, comment below if you had a similar experience, or just you can comment your own creepy stories that you experienced. I really like reading them. Also, please feel free to subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. It truly means a lot to me. And yeah, that would be it. Thank you again so much for watching or listening to this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.